What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? CthulhuTheDarkOne coming at you once again. This time with something just a little bit different. I guess it's a vlog. I guess it's a rant. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure what I'll title the video yet. I never really saw myself doing vlogs, but I recently picked up fine game, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and I had the original. I've had Street Fighter. I'm a big old school Capcom fighting fan. Um, I'm 30. Back when Marvel vs. Capcom 2 came out, it was still kind of the heyday of arcades. You would sit there, put your money in. If somebody came up, you play them, and yada 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 yada. Uh, but with the advent of modern gaming consoles, we now have the glory of online competitive multiplayer, which I'm all for, and which brings me to kind of the point of this video, and that I guess you could say it just kind of bothers me how serious some people seem to take it. I guess I'm not really sure. Hopefully, in my description of what actually bothers me, you'll get the gist of what I'm going for. But I'll give you a little bit of a backstory. Coming up in the arcade days and in the late days of it, as it were, I was never actually that good at Street Fighter and such. I got involved in, I believe it was X-Men versus Street Fighter. It was the first one I really tried to get into because I liked the X-Men at the time. Don't really have anything against them now, but Um, and I was okay at them. Like I could do okay in the arcade, like the single player, I guess it would be called now. But I was never that good as somebody put a quarter in, or yeah, they were still a quarter back then. Oh damn, I'm old. Anyway, I'd probably lose. Um, there was this guy that worked for the theater. My local arcade happened to be in a mall right across from a theater, and there was this gentleman that worked there named Noah, and Noah could like run any machine in the arcade. He was just like one of those guys, that all the little kids like, oh my god, look, Noah's got this high score and Noah's got that high score on this. I wish I could be as cool as him. And he was just a really cool guy. Like he used to be one of my friends. Of course, people move and lose touch and get jobs, and such. But he at the time he was a friend, and he saw me struggling one day, and the now infamous Akuma combo from Street Fighter. I saw him do, and I believe in that game it just completely wiped out your opponent. And I was just like, oh, dude, that's so cool. Can you teach me how to do that? So he taught me the move, and then we would just play multiplayer. And the arcade had a couple Capcom fighters at the time, and he would just teach me this way of fighting. Like, yeah, we were out to win the match ultimately, but he told me one time. He's like, it's not that you win, it's how you do it. And this is kind of the point I'm getting at. You'll see people online, you jump into a match, and especially in a game like this, there's 50 plus characters. It just lends room for some shenanigans. And now, like last night, I jump into a match. I consider myself moderate to pretty good at most fighters, and he landed one hit. And in case you don't know, it's 3-on-3 tag battles in that game. And all three of my characters never touched the ground after that first hit. Now, to give due credit, that does take a little bit of timing and skill and whatever. But the point I want to make is it really necessary? Yes, you're going to win the match. But in the playlist that I'm in, it is called Player Match. And then there are ranked matches. And that's where it gets me. And that's why I go back. It's not that you win, it's how you do it. I have just as much ability to go in there and beat the living brakes off of somebody without them ever being able to push a button. But it's just like, I've been there, I've been the person learning the game and had it done to me, and it's not fun. And I guess that's my point. It's just like, really? Like, just chill out, have a good fight, I guess what I'm saying. Like, it's hard to describe how to do it. You just kind of have to get it. And, like I said, it's not that you win, it's how you do it. You just have a good fight. I'm not saying like throw the match or do this, like I'm just saying like don't trap them in a corner. If you happen to combo them into a corner, do it. But don't just sit there like here's the guy in the corner and just blah, 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 and they never get out of there. Give them like 2 seconds, just that little chance is what I'm saying. And another thing that gets me, like I said, there's players match where no matter how many times this dude wins, it's whatever. It doesn't matter. He doesn't get rank out of it. He doesn't get anything. It doesn't matter other than him sitting there and making the other 8 people in the lobby's life miserable. But then there's a whole other set for ranked matches, and it's like if you're that good, or just out for wins and the glory of winning at any cost, apparently, like me and my friends have been saying, you're going to get bitched out. And I'm sure most people know what that's like in some form of game, where somebody does something and you just can't do anything. It's not fun. So I'm just saying, if some of these people that happen to do that in fighting games, in this, and Street Fighter, I've played them all and seen it, it's like there's no honor. And it's like if you're willing, if you just want to win, and you, I don't want to say willing or able, I'm just saying if that's how you fight, that like smash mouth, don't give the other person a chance. And like I said, I'm not saying throw a match. I'm just saying make it a good fight. If you're willing to do it, why don't you go play ranked matches where it'll actually account for something? Like you can get on a leaderboard, get so notarized you might get a call from somebody to become a pro player. Don't make people who, in theory, like to me, I always came up thinking player matches are kind of just for fun. Like everybody is probably either learning or moderate or decent at the game, and they're just in it to have fun. They don't necessarily care about losing, because if you care about losing, you're not going to be playing that. Because if you lose in ranked, it's going to hurt you. And it's just, I don't know. It exists in everything in most modern online multiplayer. And it has a lot to do, I think, with just age range, because a lot of times people will be like, yo, how old are you? Apparently I sound like a 10-year-old online. And then when I tell them my age of 30, like, oh my Jesus, you're old as dirt. No wonder you suck at this game. You're too slow. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know whether it's a generation thing. Like I said, that's how I was, trained in fighters. So that's how I play them. And a lot of my friends who will probably watch this and maybe comment are the same way. And it just, like I said, it happens in damn near everything. Some things have a little bit more leeway to it. Like shooters and stuff like that. It kind of either is or it ain't. You're either going to win or you're going to lose. But like Battlefield 3, that's another good example. Just kind of to go just off topic a little bit. Battlefield 3 is very much a team-oriented thing, especially if you're doing, if you want to do like small team death matches or something like that, knock yourself out. Your kills can win it for the whole thing. But if you're doing Conquest or Rush, and you're a sniper, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with sniping. I'm not saying it's not useful in the right conditions. But, if you don't know, in Battlefield 3, you can spawn on a squad mate who's, necessarily up in the action and you're back here. When your whole squad, your only option to spawn is all back here because they're snipers thinking they're doing something, and the action is like way up here, like there's no way they can even find a shot, but for some reason they don't move. I don't get that. I buy a game to play it personally. It amazes me. So there's that. And just as another example of kind of what I'm trying to get at. Just have common sense, people, when you play. And like I said, I can't say it enough, and hopefully people will understand it. In fighting games, in general, especially something like this where it's shenanigans are abound just because of the way the game's structured with hyper combos and all that stuff. It's not that you win. It's how you do it. I would much rather somebody beat me into the ground using a different combo every time they hit me, or a different special move every time they eat me. That shows me more skill from them than someone trapping me in a corner with Trombone and just spinning and killing me because I can't hit the ground. So, anyway, hopefully this hasn't been too off-putting or sounding like a guy bitching on the internet, which I'm sure it'll come across as. But it's just been bothering me, and I figured I'd try something new other than reviews. I still got some stuff to review, as you can see behind me there. Um, the whole job search thing is kind of hitting some dead ends, so that kind of sucks. But anyway, that's my personal problems. I won't drag y'all down with it. If you do happen to be in the Stanton, Virginia area and are looking for retail help, leave a comment, please. Um, but yeah. So either chill out or play ranked. I think a lot of people don't play ranked that can do that stuff I was saying because they know it'll up their rank because they're gonna win doing that bullshit, and then they might actually have to fight someone that's good in the game and they'll lose. So ultimately, I think people that do the corner traps and just spamming moves, ultimately I think they're just scared of a good fight. I mean, I'll play it and hardly do any special moves. That's the truth. And my friends that watch this and comment can vouch for that. I mean, I'll do them because they're in the game, but I'm nowhere near like some people do. But anyway, so this will be Wednesday's video. I might do a review, and we'll go from here. So stay tuned.